Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited. We are going to be reviewing the BH by Daisy Marquez collaboration palette. I got this like a week or two ago and I didn't get this turned around as quickly as I would have liked to. I just had some other things that were before it that I had already planned to upload. So I'm getting to it now. Total disclaimer. So the day that I actually filmed this, I did a first impression. Like you're going to see, I'm opening the package with you. I'm seeing it for the first time. I'm doing a first impression, swatches, all that stuff. I put together this look. And then at the end, when I was editing the look, I hated the look. It did not come out good at all, and I'll explain all of that later in the video, but I didn't like it. I didn't feel like it was something for me to be putting on YouTube as a makeup YouTuber. It just didn't look like my skill set, if that makes sense. So I redid it today. I mean, this is some neon smoky realness happening right now. Like, this is a crazy ass look. I mean, you know, festival season. I don't know where else you would wear this to. It's pretty bold. I mean, I might wear this like on a night out if I'm with girlfriends and I just want something in your face glam. I love it. I love the vibe. It's a vibe. Let's be real. It's a vibe. But I'm into it. I was having a little bit of issues with patchiness, and I won't know how patchy or not patchy this look is until I get into editing, and it could be patchy, but it doesn't look like it is from my perspective right now. So I'm really hoping that we did good this time. So anyway, I'm going to give you all the details on that, and you'll hear like my thoughts on the palette and my experience, and you're going to get my first impression, but you're also going to get my review several days later, which is now. Like this, I filmed the first impression days ago. So I've had a chance to play with the palette and use it, and so I have like a really solid understanding of what it is now. So stay to the end of the video and you'll get all that good stuff. So I'm going to stop talking. Without further ado, if you guys would like to see this palette in action, see my first impression, see the swatches, see this makeup look, and hear my thoughts, then keep on watching. Okay guys, so here is the box. It just has her name on it, and you open it up and there is a sheet with her picture. She's so cute. And then her with the actual palette, and then you pop it off and here is the palette inside. So on the front of the packaging you kind of have a sneak peek of the colors. On the back, it's just the ingredients and all that. Okay, so when you take it out of the box, this is what it looks like. It's actually, it looks like a box itself. It's not skinny. It's kind of like on the fatter side. When you open it, the top actually comes off, and it's a mirror. So the way you do it, there's like, this is the colors inside. So I'm going to take the plastic off, and this you kind of slide into this little hole, and it's supposed to be like a little vanity mirror. Isn't that so cute? It's such a cute like packaging idea. But we are going to just kind of look at the colors. Here they are. The pan size is a little smaller than normal BH shadows that I've been getting lately. There's 20 shades, and there's a good mix of colors here. You've got like pops of color with this like bright orange, this bright plum color. You've got a teal. You've got this kind of chartreuse green color here. You've got another kind of green down here. There's like a lot of good colors. There are, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 mattes, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 11 mattes and 9 shimmers. This color here is kind of interesting too. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it on camera, but it is like a neon orange. It is so bright. So we're gonna have some fun. I know I've been getting requests for green, but this color here is like screaming at me. Like truly. Wow. These are beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna insert swatches so you guys can see. Okay, I take that back. After I swatched them, I realized I thought this white was matte, but it's actually a shimmer. So there are 10 mattes and 10 shimmers. Looking at this palette, I'm like, how many palettes do you have a yellow? I really want to mess with the yellow, but then this color here, I'm just like so obsessed. This color and then this color. So I was thinking about maybe doing something with both of these. I think we're going to go like super bright today because why wouldn't we? I mean, there are definitely like browns that you could do like more of a neutral look, but I feel like I've done a lot of neutral looks lately. And I just did the Urban Decay Reloaded, and so I just feel like it's time to play. Let's bust out the color, yeah? Scary! Alright, we're going to see how these play on the eyes. So I think I'm going to go in and do, like, I'm going to face my fears here. And I'm going to go into this shade Karma. And I'm taking it on the Morphe brush that I've been using quite a lot lately. I'm going to just, I guess, take this mirror that came with it. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't prime my lids. What the hell's wrong with you? Hold on. Okay, so I grabbed the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Eden. So I'm just taking it on the back of my hand, and I'm going to apply it with, actually I really want this mirror. Since we're going to use like really bright colors, I'm going to take it on my lower lash line too. Okay, so I put that on, that dried, and now I'm going to go in with that Karma shade. And I'm going to press that into the crease. Wow, that's really pigmented. It comes out as bright on the lid as it does in the pan, which is really not easy to do. I rarely find colors this bright that end up on your eye that same brightness. You know what I mean? Wow. I'm just going to take this all the way in. I want to do something crazy today. I'm just in that mood, you know? I'm in a bold mood. I kind of can't believe how evenly this shade is applying. Like, there is no patchiness whatsoever. And it doesn't take a lot to get the level of pigment either. This was a good color to like to start with because this color, it's a matte, it's super bold, and it's red or orange, and it's like neon. So you know if this formula is gonna suck, you're gonna be able to see it in this type of a color. But like, look at this. Are you shitting me? Actually, I do want to know what's in this shade. Some of these are pressed pigments. I'm gonna assume that that's what this is. Pressed pigment shadows, Dulce, Bittersweet, Flower, Karma. Yes, so this is a pressed pigment shadow. This is gonna have red dye in it. There is not carmine in these, so I think it's a vegan formula, which means this is likely gonna stain my eyes, but you know, it's fine. So I have to wipe off this brush to try to clean it with my color switch. And I got most of it off. There's a little bit of residual, but not too bad. So I am going to actually go in with, let's see. I am going to go in with this color Dulce and Naked. And I'm going to dip into both of them, and then I'm just going to push them onto the edge. And this is going to be what I use to blend this shade. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush, and I'm going to start buffing that out. Yeah, this is pigmented as fuck. Holy shit balls. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bit more of actual Karma, and I'm just going to use it. I'm going to wiggle it on the edges and start and further just kind of blend out that shade, because the edges are not wanting to budge. It's like a dye. That's super pretty. Okay, now I'm going to do something totes cray. I'm going to take the shade Passion Fruit, and this is a Luxie flat brush, a 211, a Luxie 211, and I am going to press this on my lid. I'm getting a tiny bit of fallout, but let me tell you something. I got no fallout from that Karma shade, like none. I'll get some of this fallout. And then I'm just gonna kind of blend these two shades together. Okay, so I'm just going into this shade here called Icy, and I'm just popping it on my brow bone, and I'm sort of blending it in to the crease shades. And then I'm just gonna go in with that blending brush and just sort of buff it out. I feel a little like Bozo the Clown at the moment, but I feel like it's gonna come together. It will. It has to. For the lower lash line, I am going to take a pencil brush and the shade Passion Fruit. And I'm just going to buff that all along, pretty much all the way in. Next, I'm going to take a really tiny little brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Bittersweet, which is kind of the same tones, and I'm going to further define my lower lash line, and I'm actually going to put some of this in the outer V just to deepen it up a little. Careful of that fallout, girl. I really do recommend doing your eyes first with this palette, because these shades are so pigmented, like so pigmented, that the fallout is real, but not like because they're bad shadows, just because they are ultra pigmented. Alright, I actually think I want to do a little bit of black. Just a little. Because I feel like it just needs a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to take that same tiny brush and go into the shade Matter. And I'm just going to press it into my outer lower lash line and kind of into the V. Yes. And then I'm just going to take my pencil brush and sort of buff it out gently. Going to try some of Icy and Stunt. I'm going to mix these two for my inner corner. Ooh. Yes. Girl. All right, I'm going to throw on some lashes and a lip, and I will be right back. Okay, you guys, so here is the look. Like I said, this actually happened on a different day than what you just saw. And the reason is because I really wasn't feeling how the look came out. And to be honest, like, I don't even think I really like the way it looks right now. Like, I feel like it's hard to tell when it's gonna be like super patchy. Like, I don't know if you guys, how it's gonna look on camera, because like in person it doesn't look patchy, but when I was editing the video, my shadow looked so patchy that I was like embarrassed. I was like, oh, it looks like I don't know how to do my makeup. And so, I mean, we all have days where our makeup doesn't come out 100%. I don't care who you are and what skill level you're at. That's a reality. Like, your makeup isn't always going to be perfect. But it was bad. It looked like a 3-year-old did my makeup. It was so patchy, especially the black. So, having played with it a few more times, I do have a little bit more perspective than I did when the day that you just saw with me, like, first impressioning the palette. The first thing I want to say is I like the palette. I do. I feel like this palette is challenging. I don't think that this palette is good for somebody who has a lesser skill set. Like, if you are a novice, if you are new to makeup, if you aren't super skilled at eyeshadow, then I would say maybe don't get this palette. I think that, and I don't know if these are pressed pigments or what, but like there's, especially like these shades here, like the passion fruit, bittersweet, karma, flower, even cocoa and madder, like the black, like all the mattes I feel like are so rich in pigment that it takes a while to blend them, because when you do blend them they get patchy and then you have to build the color a little more and then blend them. And that's just the nature of highly pigmented shadows. Sometimes the blending isn't easy. I don't think that this formula is I think this is a formula outside of the box for BH Cosmetics. I think this is a unique formula. This is not something you're seeing in any other palette that they have. So keep that in mind. That said, if you are skilled at eyeshadow, it's still a little bit challenging, but like I'm up for the challenge. Like, it was challenging. Like, doing this look today took me a lot longer than a typical eyeshadow look does. And I'm talking like a slay the day eyeshadow look. This took me a while because of the blending. It's just blending and blending and blending and adding and blending and adding and blending and adding and blending some more. And like, I like to be challenged, but like if you're in a hurry and you're looking for an everyday palette, like this is not the one. It is a beautiful palette, and I imagine this to be very similar to the James Charles Morphe palette, in that all of the feedback that people were giving on that palette being like hyper pigmented and taking a long time to blend, like this is very similar to that. The mattes. Now, the shimmers I don't think are an issue. I thought some of them were not quite as pigmented as I was expecting them to be, but they are very shimmery and very pretty. Like, I don't have anything bad to say about them. I did do a St. Patrick's Day look with this green here called Cha-Ching, and it's very pretty. I did have to build it quite a bit to get the level of green I wanted, but it had nothing to do with the color and more so to do with the green that I had in my head. But I did have this color here in my inner corner, and this is a beautiful chartreuse color, and this is like, whew, in your face. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that, you know, Daisy did a great job on this palette, and like I said, this is definitely a formula that's a little bit unique to what you typically see with BH Cosmetics, in my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but my experience was very different with this palette than in other palettes. I feel like most BH palettes are very user-friendly and very easy to use if you're not really super experienced with makeup or eyeshadow. This one, not so much. So just keep that in mind. I think it's a great palette. It's $24, totally worth it. You get all these beautiful colors, and you know, I'm going to have fun with this palette, and so far I have had fun. Like this yellow shade, I'm doing a look. Like I can't wait to do a look with it. And you know, this little teal green looks like it's going to be fun for like spring. And you know, I did have kind of a good time recreating this look and, you know, figuring out the shadows, you know, like this passion fruit shade, see, like I even have a little bit of patchiness right there because I was blending out the black and it blended away some of the passion fruit. So I don't know if you can see that. And I did like to apply this with my finger first and then use a brush. Is my lash coming off? It pretty much is. Oh well. Okay, it's the end of the day. So that is it for today's video. Those are my thoughts on the palette. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I answered all of your questions. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell so you never miss when I upload a video. Follow me on social. My handle is @GLAMLATTE, and the Glam Latte Beauty Podcast is over on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, and CastBox. All the details are in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.